everybody. Thanks for joining today. I'm Amy Harris. I am the Client Success Manager here at Milk Stork, and I know I've probably met most of you, but if I haven't, it's wonderful to meet you. Today, we are going to be talking about what HR and ERG leaders need to know about Milk Stork. So thank you for dedicating some time today to us, and let's get started. So before we get going, audio is muted, but feel free to ask any questions in the chat box. We have Caesar, our head of growth, who's going to be monitoring it and kind of working in the background. You'll be participating in some interactive polls, so please go ahead and answer those questions, and we'll go through them as the show goes on. And we'll make sure to share this recording afterwards. I know I've already been asked for it a couple of times, so we will definitely make sure that we send that along. And the reason why we're all here is to participate in the raffle, which I'm super excited about because this is one of our newest products. We are going to be raffling off a travel essential kit for your participation in this webinar. So thank you so much for all joining. I'm excited to be able to raffle it off and excited to get this kicked off. So to start off with, there's me, Amy Harris. I'm the Client Success Manager, and I have a whole panel of people that are going to be joining today. And I'm going to just kind of like tee them off, and then they will give a quick introduction. First is Tiffany Aquana. She is our head of product. Tiffany?
Hi, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Tiffany. And then I also have Katie Shipps-Kelly. She is a Global Senior Benefits Manager from Attentive. She is going to be one of our panelists that will be joining at the end. Katie, do you want to say a quick word?
Sure. Thanks, Amy. I'm Katie Shipps-Kelly. I'm the Global Senior Benefits at Attentive Mobile. We're a marketing technology company. We focus on personalizing messages for our businesses to connect with their customers through SMS, RCS, and email messaging. I've been here for a little over 2 years, and we've had our partnership. This is our second year with Milk Stork. So very excited to talk about our partnership with Milk Stork and how we promote the benefit.
Wonderful. Thank you, Katie. And last but not least, Nikki Molyneux from Uber. She's Senior Benefits Program Manager. Nikki, a quick word?
Thanks, Amy. Hi, everyone. I'm Nikki Molyneux. As Amy mentioned, I'm the Senior Benefits Program Manager at Uber. Uber is a ride-sharing technology app. We are located all over the world, but in the US, we have many different offices, and I am located in our New York office. I have been at Uber for about 3.5 years now, and ever since I've been here, we've been lucky enough to work with Milk Stork, so I'm looking forward to speaking with you all today.
Thank you so much, Nikki. I am so very happy to be represented by this panel of women right now. So our agenda, first things first, we're going to go over some use case and some solutions. We're going to go over some, well, actually, Tiffany will be going over some key features and resources. Then Katie and Nikki are going to be participating in our client panel and talk about best practices and stories. And then we will round it off with questions and answers and our raffle, who is going to win this travel essential bundle. So here is our very first poll. Which lactation benefit does your company currently offer? We've listed a whole bunch of them out here. Perhaps you offer a dedicated lactation room. Maybe you give lactation consulting or support, transitions for return to work. So we have a lot of different options that you may have available to you. And you can choose as many as you'd like.
Give it another few seconds. Looks like folks are almost done with submitting their selections.
And that voice behind the picture, everybody, is our head of growth, Caesar.
Hi, everyone. Okay, I'm going to end the poll.
Great. So it looks like everybody, 88% of you offer Milk Stork, which is great. Yay! This is, what we're here for, our mission. Dedicated lactation spaces, 56%. Also offering the flexible pump breaks, breast pump coverage, and then really ending it out, giving breastfeeding supplies, stipend, and reimbursement. Actually, can't really scroll down. See, oh, I can scroll down now, Caesar. I'm sorry. And then maybe if you did choose another or not sure, feel free to just put those in the chat, or maybe just so we can kind of keep track of those and maybe discuss them after the fact. I also specifically like that you guys offer, like 38% of you offer the parent support and ERG groups for breastfeeding or new parents. This is something that we're working on. It's a focus of ours here at Milk Stork, so we're really excited to see that it's also a focus for you as well. Perfect. All right, so let's get started. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background of Milk Stork. This is our founder and CEO, Kate. She founded this company 10 years ago, and we are the #1 leader in breast milk shipping and logistics. She really created this company based off of her own experiences as a pumping and traveling mom. And she set out to empower women in the workplace, and she did that. Here we are, 10 years later, and we're supporting over 800 companies, and we have shipped over 14 million ounces of breast milk. So we are just so very proud of this accomplishment. And who knew this is where we'd be in 10 years? Obviously, Kate did. This is why she started this company. But, here we are. So how parents use Milk Stork, there's a wide variety of different ways that you can use Milk Stork. A majority of them use it to travel for work. So if they're at an event, if they are on an all-hands meeting or a convention or a training, they're using Milk Stork to transport their breast milk back home safely to their baby. They can also be pumping at the office and use a milk cubby to transport their breast milk back and forth. This way they don't have to keep their breast milk inside a public refrigerator. We also focus on relocation. This has been a huge one this past year. We're seeing a lot of companies add relocation because they're starting to relocate employees to different locations. So we're able to transport large quantities of breast milk from one location to another. Commuting, keeping your milk cold all day. Again, the milk cubby solution is a wonderful solution with this. You're in sales and you're on the road all day long. You are able to use the milk cubby to keep your breast milk cold for up to 15 hours. And RTO, return to office transition. This has been a big one. So, in the past, and especially during COVID, most parents got used to, being able to just walk over into their kitchen and being able to store their breast milk in the kitchen. Unfortunately, now, a lot of employees have to go back into the office and, having to work out this new schedule and, routine into their lives. So we've definitely been able to help with that transition, provide different solutions on how moms can make sure that their breast milk gets home safely to their babies. And lastly, surrogacy. You're able to transport milk with from the adopted baby to the surrogate mother. So that can happen back and forth, back and forth. So we allowed for that transportation. And as the surrogacy journey continues, the box does get larger depending on how much she produces. So these are all just different ways that you can utilize the Milk Stork benefit. So some of our most popular solutions, we offer refrigerated solutions where you're able to ship refrigerated breast milk. You can ship it or you can transport it home yourself. When you do ship it, it does come with a pre-printed shipping label. So there's very little that you have to do on your end besides scan a QR code and arrange a FedEx pickup. You can transport freshly pumped milk through our milk cubby. And this allows you just to store your breast milk in your bottles within this cooler, and you can keep it cold up to 15 hours. Frozen breast milk, very similar to refrigerated breast milk, but you freeze your breast milk before shipping it, or you can tote it as well. It's all on what your preference is. These all come in different sizes as well, so depending on how long of a trip you're going on, you could get a 72-ounce box, or you can get a 104-ounce box, depending on how long your trip is to accommodate it. And then our newest solutions are our bundled solutions. And these are really meant to help you prepare for travel. So it gives you, a portable breast pump. It gives you breast milk storage bags. It gives you wipes. It gives you the milk cubby. So it gives you all of those essentials that you need when you're starting out that travel. So here we are with our second poll. What are the biggest challenges your organization faces in supporting pumping employees? Is it the lack of awareness about available benefits? Maybe you have budget constraints. Maybe there's limited lactation room facilities or resources. I'll give you just a minute. How are we looking, Caesar?
I'm gonna close the poll right now. Let's see the results.
So the number one reason, your biggest challenge, lack of awareness about available benefits. That is definitely the screaming answer. So thank you so much for letting us know this. It looks like a lack of support or knowledge from management is another one. So, and then limited lactation room facilities and resources the other. So yes, thank you so much and for sharing this information. I think it helps all of us on this call kind of understand where we could do better and we can make some improvements. And that being said, I think what I'm going to do now is hand it off to Tiffany, and she is really going to show you what we have done on our end to help create that awareness and make it easier for you to promote and create that awareness for your employees. Tiffany?
Thank you, Amy. And again, hi everybody, Tiffany, I'm head of product, and I'm really excited to show you a lot of great new features that we've rolled out in the last 6 or 7 months. So some of this you may have seen already and some might be new to you, but wanted to just make sure everybody knows what's out there. One of the newest features is that we've actually updated our navigation so that it's easier for you to find your way, both for you and your employees. So now you can just log in, and if you go to my account, which is just in this drop down, it'll give you options based on your user type. So if you have access to a benefit administration dashboard, it'll give you this option for this link. If you have access to an employee ordering portal, it'll give you access to this link and send you there. So hopefully we're helping people find their way even quicker, so you don't have to remember a specific URL to be able to know you're in the right place as long as you're logged in with the right account. Once we go to this dashboard, this is your benefit administration dashboard. Typically, this is for HR benefits managers or others who are involved in maintaining the benefits. so that you have complete control over your Milk Stork benefit to make it as seamless as possible for you. So we have a new homepage. This is a really exciting feature for folks that have been with us for a while. This looks probably very new to you. We wanted to make sure you knew all of the features available to you in your dashboard and that you can see what they're for. So this is a new landing page when you first log in, and also we're starting to add more announcements here for you so that we give you real-time updates as we go. If you have any issues logging into the dashboard or you don't have access and you want it, feel free to reach out to Amy. She'll be glad to help you get that set up. So other pages in this, just a quick highlight, an overview. We have our reporting page. So way above and beyond what our old reportings was just like one graph. We have a pretty powerful dashboard available to you now that includes a ton of great insights and data. So I encourage you to plug in there. You can use that data anytime. It's a live feed of your utilization. You can also download a CSV file if you want the raw data to use. And you can download individual charts, so you can use those in your own presentations and such. We've covered reporting a lot in the past, so I'm going to keep going, but there's a lot of information in our resource center for it that you can refer to. There's also clearer benefits controls here as well, so you can actually come in here and configure or just better understand what benefits you're offering if you have questions about a category or a product. And then there's a whole new round of portal setting controls that we've turned to be facing you, so you can just change these at any time that you need to. So we have a lot of employers who love this because it gives you control over how you communicate the benefits once your employees are in their portal, what instructions you give them at the top of their portal, what benefit terms they agree to at checkout, and then any unique checkout questions, which we'll talk about here in a minute further. But this is what your portal looks like, and you'll see that the user interface here has also been updated to match the branding and the flow and be just a little bit cleaner, crisper, easier to read. And you now have control over this entire message at the top for them. So this is instructions that you can configure at any time in your portal settings. So pretty useful changes here. We've also turned the users and security settings facing you so that you have more control of adding standard users. If you have a user who's out on leave or has some other reason why they need an account with access based on an email that's not configured into your system, you can set it up here as long as you don't have SSO enabled. If you do have SSO enabled, then get in touch and we'll figure out a different way, but SSO is also available. And finally, I think the most useful part of this whole thing besides reporting is the resource center. We have this fabulous resource center available to you at any time now. It gives you access to FAQs, and we're always building more. So if you have ones that you'd like to see, just let us know. So if you have questions about the products, about travel, navigating international things with your employees, or other FAQs, you have it here. We also have a section for promotional materials, and the growth team has done a terrific job building out materials that you can actually take templates, update it with your information, and just send it out to your employees. So we have overview documents and beautiful PDFs for you. We have toolkits available to you so that you, if you're with an ERG, can navigate flyers that you can actually send out, things like that. So it's a really useful set of promotional materials. If you haven't been in there lately, I'd suggest you plug in and take a look and leverage those resources. You don't have to do the work. We've already done it for you. Let us do the heavy lifting. And then finally, the resources and tools section is really meant for you as an administrator of your benefit. So there's toolkits in here that the growth team has put together so that start to finish, you can help plan for open enrollment or for launching the benefit or for updating the benefit, things like that. There's recordings of webinars. So this recording will be in this section too for future reference. And then there's templates, and the first template we've added that we think is really useful is the acceptable use policy template. This is one that we hear a lot from folks about wanting to put parameters around how the benefit gets used. And so we have heard this and seen this and coached people through it and figured a template is easier for you. So now you have a template. You can take this. It gives you instructions on how to fix it up and leverage it. And then you can just link it in your intranet or wherever you save your benefits information and place it right on the instructions on the top of the portal so that they know where to go to find that acceptable use policy. You can also link it in the terms at checkout, so they have to check a box to say they've read and agree to those terms in the acceptable use policy before they place an order. So really good, useful stuff here for you to keep in mind. The final thing that I'll say is that it's searchable. So you can come into the Resource Center at any time and say, I don't know how to do something, or, I'm looking for help on something. And I'll use the software guide as an example. We have a new software guide for you since we have all these new beautiful features. We want to make sure you know how to use them. And so we have this both in videos, like short 3 to 5 minute videos of each new feature. So if you just don't remember how to use something, you can jump in here and learn about it with different features. And then we also have it just in a PDF format for those who learn best by reading. You can just jump in here and there's a whole PDF that gives you soup to nuts the entire dashboard experience with instructions for use. So it's really a helpful tool for you if you're not sure how to navigate the dashboard and the reporting or aren't sure what you're seeing. This is a good place to start. And then last, I'll end on this note with the unique checkout questions, because this is a really awesome feature that we hear every day from our clients that they love it. So just want to encourage you all to use it. We have the ability to set unique checkout questions that all of your employees are required to answer when they check out with anything they order from Milk Stork. So you can make them required or optional. There's no limit on how many that you can ask. It's totally up to you. We encourage, don't probably ask 20 questions, it'll overwhelm them. But, if you have 2 or 3 or 4 questions that are really relevant to administering your benefit, you can do that. So things like, what office are you going to? Or what event is this for? Or, where are you permanently located for your office assignment? Or, we've seen all sorts of different questions get asked so that you can have that data available to you in reporting. So if you ask it here, it shows up in reporting. You can set it to active and turn it off anytime. So if you have a temporary question you want to ask to just understand how behaviors are going with benefits and how they're utilizing it, and you can hide it from future reporting if you decide it's no longer a relevant question. It's a really user-friendly, available to you directly in your dashboard, so you don't even have to ask Amy for any help. And it's all set for you right there. So hopefully this is a good overview. Again, the whole dashboard software guide is available to you in the Resource Center, so I encourage you to take a look when you get a chance. And I will be available if any questions, and if you have any follow-up questions that you need, there's also help and contact that sends you to the right place based on the type of question you have. So we're always available to help wherever we can to make sure that administering the benefit is as seamless as possible. So I know that was fast. I'll be here for questions at the end, but thank you guys. I appreciate it. Back to you.
Tiffany, thank you so much. Thanks for that overview. That was wonderful. Thank you. So last but not least, I have our wonderful panelists, Katie and Nikki, and I'm now going to put them on the spot by asking some questions to them both. So I'm hoping, this may be able to help everybody on the call with some insight on how, fellow, colleagues do create awareness of the Milk Stork benefit. So I'll ask a question and then I'll just kind of leave it to you guys to kind of answer at will. But tell us more about your benefit programs and your lactation benefits.
Right, I don't mind going first.
Okay.
So our population, the majority of our population are really in that family forming years. So we really want to promote benefits that are going to be meaningful for those people that are in those years, and Milk Stork obviously being one of those. I think Milk Stork is a pretty niche benefit, but it's very impactful for those folks that can leverage it. I actually had the opportunity to use Milk Stork myself this year, which was really cool because I feel like a lot of times you implement these benefits as, an HR leader and you're not always able to utilize them. And so you rely on the feedback from employees, which we've gotten really great feedback from our employees on Milk Stork, but being able to use it myself was awesome. We had an offsite and I was I had a 6-month-old. So, the stress of being a working mom, traveling mom, what am I going to do? Like just dealing with all of that stress. I think it took a lot of, at least some of the pressure off of me, as to like, what do I do with my milk, right? And so I actually use the milk cubby for the airport, and then I used the refrigerator shipping, which was great. There was a FedEx in the hotel that I was staying at, so the event was over. I brought it over to FedEx. They shipped it home, and it was there when I got home, pretty much. So just being able to use the benefit firsthand as someone who's promoting the benefit, was really awesome. And I think I answered your question.
Wonderful. Katie, actually, I love it. I love that answer, because I also love the fact that sometimes my contacts are the ones that are using it, which is even more exciting, right? And I'm a little jealous because I'm way past those stages, but it's always nice to hear about. And Nikki, how about you?
So at Uber, we like to pride ourselves on offering a wide variety of benefits that really meet our employees where they are at in life. And just like with Katie said at Attentive, a lot of our employees, that means that they are in the parent stage of life. So we do offer a variety of parental benefits, including other lactation benefits. But some of these, they solve for a variety of unique challenges that come with parenting. And when we discovered that we had a lot of employees traveling with no way to ship and store their breast milk, we just discovered that was another unique challenge that we needed to solve for. So insert Milk Stork. We do have a lot of employees that use it, and they all love it for the ease, the variety of products that they can choose, the convenience, and to build on what Katie said, just knowing that you have a resource and benefit that is solely there to really eliminate one of these challenges in your life. It's one less thing to worry about. It's one less hassle to deal with. And it allows employees to really focus on their job, on their family, on their day-to-day life, and just takes one less thing off their plate.
I love that, Nikki. Thank you so much. Thank you both for sharing. So one of the biggest challenges that we saw in the poll was about getting the word out on benefits. How do you both get the word out about the benefits, about Milk Stork and the other lactation benefits that you offer?
Katie, you went first last time, so I'm happy to go first this time.
There you're going to be talking.
We have a variety of ways that we market Milk Stork. The first would be we utilize our ERGs. So we have a lot of ERG groups here at Uber, and one of the biggest is the parents ERG, which is no surprise. So we rely pretty heavily on those leaders to help us market the product. So whether that's just giving them updates on that we receive from Milk Stork. I know I get emails monthly with new product initiatives, upcoming webinars, toolkits, etc. So I do rely on those and share them broadly with our ERG groups. So that way I'm not gatekeeping this information. I want everyone to know about it. I want them to know what's new and upcoming and how to best use this to fit their needs. So I would say the first way is definitely using our ERG groups and sharing this information with them, so that way they can get, they're closer with the employees on a day-to-day basis. So that way they can provide this information with them as well, because we have, Slack groups, we have individual pages, and that allows them to address these questions that may come up just offhandedly, like, oh, I'm traveling, what's the best way to do this? And then someone in that ERG group, whether it's a leader or just another member, can say, oh, well, have you heard of Milk Stork? Another way that we do it is we have a page dedicated solely to Milk Stork on our internal website, and that outlines what Milk Stork is, how employees can use it. We have direct links to the Milk Stork website. We just make it as easy as possible for people to find the information, know upfront right away what it is, and then provide that direct link so they can actually go in and use it. A couple times throughout the year, we do other things that highlight our benefits. We have newsletters, of course, around annual enrollment. We always highlight our vendors. So in addition to the ERGs and our dedicated page, we highlight all of the other benefits that people might not think of, your medical, dental, visions. So we'll tell people just occasionally throughout the year about the Milk Stork benefit, and a reminder that it's there because, it's a great benefit, but it's niche. So you don't necessarily think about it right away. So when people are traveling and have the need for it, we want them to know, oh, we have Milk Stork available to you. So just those little reminders throughout the year are good so that people have that information in the back of their head.
I love that, Nikki. Thank you. Katie, how about you at Attentive?
Yeah, so a lot of echoing of what Nikki said. So we communicate our benefit programs regularly, including Milk Stork, through a dedicated wiki page, a monthly newsletter. We have a wellness program where we'll plug it. And then also a Slack channel where we do like regular posts where we highlight different things. So for example, last week we highlighted Milk Stork because it's Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and highlighted, the company benefit that we have, and then also the discounted employee page. And then I think you guys have a webinar next month that we promoted as well. So again, just like regular sprinkles here and there so people don't forget about Milk Stork. And then kind of like meeting people where they're at, right? So we have a lot of folks that are on maternity leave, making sure that in our leave communications, we're telling people about Milk Stork. We're putting it in the manager leave guides too, so that the managers are aware and that they can support their employees when they come back from leave. And then leveraging our ERG, we also have a parent caregiver group. So we've started looping you in, Amy, with our ERG leaders so that they're aware of the benefit and they can promote it in the channels there. And then anytime we have like a big event, so the event that I traveled to, we made sure we heavily communicated it. It was a company-wide event. So we want people that, new mothers that are pumping or nursing, don't want them to feel like they can't go. We want them to know that they have this benefit, take some of the pressure off. So yeah.
Wonderful. And lastly, our last question, that I know you both have given us some, guidance towards this anyway, but I'm going to end it with this last question. Any tips or best practices for our audience on growing awareness and utilization?
I'll go next.
There you go, Katie. You're first. You're first.
I think again, more of what we've been saying, like leveraging those times that people are going to use it, right? Like the leave times, the big company travel times, communicating then, and then those ERGs, making those are the people that are going to use it, right? Another thing that we've been doing is reporting out to our execs on the utilization of all of our benefits. So we're leveraging that dashboard that Tiffany just showed us to, show the execs, like, this is the impact that we have on Milk Stork, like this is where we're at with the benefit. And then also asking employees for feedback. So we've done a raffle to get employees to give us feedback on Milk Stork and other programs that we have. And we've gotten, and quotes that we can use internally and externally, this is the benefit that we offer. And this is what our employees are saying about the benefits, and they're great quotes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Katie. And Nikki, how about you?
Yeah, I would say definitely utilize your ERG groups. That's the great way to get word out. And then in addition, when people go on leaves, we include information in their leave packet that they receive about this benefit. So that way, if and when they need to use it, they have that information right there. So I would say those are probably our two biggest ways. And then just, of course, in addition to everything else I've been saying, you don't want this type of benefit just to sit out there and hope that employees just stumble upon it. You want to make sure it's in their face. So promoting the webinars, sending out the reminders, asking people, like Katie mentioned, about their thoughts and get their feedback. I think it's just important to keep the benefits right where employees can access them, can utilize them, because that's why we have them, right?
Yeah, and Katie used a word and I love it. And I think I'm going to use it for the rest of the day, but sprinkles. Sprinkles here or there. Just sprinkle it all over the place. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you both so much for your, your guidance and your feedback. I appreciate you both, and I very much enjoy our partnership and working together with you too. I think this has been very helpful. Thank you. So as we will be providing some key resources out to you, we're going to be sending over HR and ERG toolkits. We have an employee webinar that's coming up next month that I'm really excited as well, that you can have your employees join. And we're also going to be sending over a slide that you can utilize to promote Breastfeeding Awareness Month. You may have seen it, we've sent it out a couple times, but just as a recap, we will send it over again. But really quick, I wanted to kind of go into Caesar. I'm sorry, would you like me to go into Q&A, or do we get to find out who our winner is of this raffle?
So let's do the winner. Well, actually, first of all, any questions, folks, that folks want to drop into the Q&A? I've got one that was chatted over to me, so maybe I'll pull that up. One of the challenges that was highlighted in the poll was lack of support or knowledge from management being one of the biggest challenges. How do, especially given that a lot of management can be very might not have direct experience with lactation. How do you navigate that? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna open up to Katie and Nikki.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. An absolutely fair question. I think that we have gotten a lot of really great support from our leadership. They know our employee base. They know that most of them are within those parent building years, and they understand the importance of providing parental and lactation benefits to our employees. So I think just having that clear, that need, that this is not just, a nice to have, it's almost no, the employees, they need to have this. I think kind of making that well known and clear and documented is a great step. And then once you kind of have their buy-in, so to say, then you can also say, here is the utilization, here is how many people actually utilize this benefit. And by them being able to utilize it, here's the actual ROI. So putting facts and numbers behind the Milk Stork usage, I think, is a great way to start to get their support.
Am I allowed to add to that?
Of course.
I would just say, Nikki, I think that's perfectly said and agree completely. I think the other thing is that a lot of leadership may not actually understand the ROI on certain benefits. And so being able to kind of shed some light on the value of why these things are important is really helpful, right? So the importance for employees to feel supported, to retain them, honestly, and to incentivize them so that they show up with their whole selves at work, right? So that they can participate in events that are off-site. There's a lot of things that I've seen over the years where employers just didn't understand. Why didn't this employee show up, or why are they frustrated, or why did they leave? And usually they're asking those questions when it's too late to do anything about it, because nobody told them earlier. So I would just encourage conversations on things like that earlier. Don't assume that the leadership understands it or knows it if they haven't gone through it themselves.
Yeah. And one more thing I'll add. Sorry, I don't have my video on, but I know that what we can share with folks along with the recording afterwards is we have a lovely PDF guide about how to train managers, how to speak about breastfeeding and lactation. So that's a really popular resource that we can share. I've got another question in the chat, in the Q&A, is do you know if the benefits are available to the spouse of employees or only for employees themselves? So I think this is more specific to Milk Stork. Would Amy or Tiffany like to cover this one?
Yeah, I can jump in here. So the benefits are available for an enterprise client. The enterprise client, such as Uber or Phase Attentive, they would be the ones who determine who is eligible to receive the Milk Stork benefits. All of our clients offer different solutions. So we have some clients that offer this for business travel, personal travel, and they allow spouses to do it. We also have some other clients that just, promote this benefit to employees that require it for business travel. So Milk Stork is able to provide this shipping service to whoever you'd like us to provide it to, but it's up to the client to educate their employee population on who is actually eligible for this program. And Tiffany had kind of mentioned earlier, this is why we had helped with the acceptable use policy, because one of the number one questions I get is like, who can use this program? Anyone can use it. It's all on who you want to use it, and you will need to make sure that you educate that policy out to your employees, and we'll support you in any direction that you'd like.
Perfect. Any other questions from the audience? Okay, let's do our travel essentials raffle. So I'm literally picking randomly, and our winner is Robin from Molo Lambkin. So congrats, Robin. We'll send an email to you with a follow-up to just get your address, and we'll send it over to you. Hopefully this can be put to good use with your team. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Robin. Yay. Perfect. Well, again, there you go. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Please join us next month. We are really excited. We've already have a pretty large crowd joining us as well, but we will be promoting the webinar some more in this next coming weeks. But thank you all for joining. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to reply to this email with our resources, and I'll definitely be in touch. Katie and Nikki, again, thank you so much. And Tiffany, of course. Tiffany, I see you every day. But Nikki and Katie, thank you so much for your attendance. And Caesar, thank you so much for coordinating this.
Of course. Happy National Breastfeeding Month, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.